Hey guys, and welcome back. Today we're gonna talk about the Blackmagic Pocket Cinema Camera 6K. So 2018 in April, Blackmagic released the Blackmagic Pocket Cinema Camera 4K. This thing was a game changer. At a price point of only $1,300, that thing had dual native ISO of 400 and 3200, 13 stops of dynamic range. It recorded in 4K 60 frames per second and in Blackmagic RAW, which was pretty nice. And it's compact, slim, and a pocket cinema camera, that's for sure. Only 16 months later, Blackmagic announced the 6K version of its camera. This camera could record in 6K, 60 frames per second, and had some pretty nice improvements like a Canon EF mount instead of the MFT mount of the 4K version. So let's go out and take some test footage. So for the test shooting, I'm not gonna take a super fancy lens. I'm just gonna take the 135mm Canon lens with a f3.5 to 5.6. So not the nicest lens. So because the camera doesn't have any internal stabilization and it isn't the biggest, I'm gonna use the Ronin S to stabilize the footage, so we can just mount everything up.
Let's go shopping, let's go shopping, let's go shopping, you and me. Let's go shopping, let's go shopping, let's go shopping, you and me. The pet shop. Here we go.
Some things that you definitely need to consider buying if you get the Blackmagic Pocket Cinema Camera 6K. Whew. First thing you definitely need to buy is an external hard drive. This is the Samsung T5 and that has 500 gigabytes of storage at a price point of $100. This is quite cheap for the massive storage you get, and you definitely need that storage because 6K at 60 frames per second is gonna bring a mass of data. If I'd film in the full resolution of that camera, I could make the 500 gigabytes full in only about 5 minutes. Next thing, batteries. This camera runs out of battery pretty fast. So definitely make sure you have enough batteries or get a V-mount battery as an external battery. Or just hook it up. If you're doing indoor shooting, just hook it up to the plug. If you had this camera in your hand already, you definitely noticed that although it has a huge monitor on its backside, the monitor isn't pretty good. So definitely consider buying an extra monitor for it. Although this is, I think, the Feelword MA5, it isn't bigger than the integrated monitor, but it still has a higher resolution and it's just better. Also, this thing doesn't have a continuous autofocus. So if you try to pull your focus, it is definitely easier to have it on a pretty clear screen. This is from Small Rig. It's the half rig, half cage, and you just slide the camera into that thing and you have many different mounts. And you also have the possibility to take this handle and just mount it to the camera so it just doesn't shake that much because you have more points of access. Additional, this Small Rig handle also has a storage place for the Samsung T5. So you don't have to have it always bulky on your camera up here, just carry it around, you know? So let's dive into the menu of the camera. Okay, first look on the display. We have our volume bars here. We see the storage. We see we have 80 more minutes to film with the hard drive that I have on top here. 100% battery left, white balance, ISO, iris, shutter, FPS. And we have a histogram down here. The menu is very easy to understand. Up here we have 6 different sections with record, monitor, audio, setup, presets, and LUTs. Obviously in record you can see all your record settings. If you want to record in ProRes or Blackmagic RAW, frame rate, off-speed recording, all that stuff. Then we go to monitor. We can select if we want to have which things we want to have on which screens. Like we want to have on only HDMI, we want to have the display 3D LUT, for example, or the focus peaking only on the HDMI. We can change this here and go to both, and then we can see what we have on both. Then we can go to audio. We have the possibility to change between the different channels, headphones volume, speaker volume, all that fun stuff. Then we obviously have setup, so date, language, and up here presets. We can put slow-mo, for example. That is a preset I have. Select here, and then I have it selected. And then we have LUTs. I have all of those LUTs in here. I, for example, have a dramatic LUT. If I apply this, go out of the menu, apply the LUT, everything is a little more dramatic. Happy LUT, everything is more colorful. Okay, let's summarize. This camera is definitely incredible. For the price point of only $2,500, you can get a full cinema camera with 6K, 60 frames per second, 13 stops of dynamic range, and dual native ISO. I personally am totally in love with that camera. Okay, but now the ultimate question. Is the Blackmagic Pocket Cinema camera for you? That thing has for sure great footage if you know how to use it. But I wouldn't say this camera is made for everyone. It's a cinema camera, so it's for cinematographers. I personally wouldn't always say that I need that camera because I don't always need 6K, and you have to always manually do everything. If you're a run and gun filmmaker and you're just doing vlogs, I would definitely say this camera is not for you because you have to manually focus, you don't have a flip up display, you have to have all those gadgets you need to buy for the camera, and if you actually rig it up, it can get quite big. I would definitely say it depends whether you should get it or not. The next video is gonna be an extreme test between the Blackmagic Pocket Cinema Camera 6K and the Red Epic Dragon. I'm gonna take it out with a friend of mine into extreme low light situations. We're gonna try to film the stars and we're gonna try to bring the cameras to the edge. So go ahead and click the subscribe button under this video and I see you next time. Pew.